Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to Beginner Bootcamp 2 with our final bracket, a top 16 matchup, I think, third or fourth time matchup between Timbo and Dexus, with the winner to play Dot Dot, who won earlier yesterday. And they have elected to play Settings 2. Which is our objectives setting. And I am Moko, going to be one of your commentators today, and I am accompanied by Bob.
Hello. It's gonna be a fun one. Always good to see some OBJs.
Yeah. I'm gonna send the races off now, and we can dive into the seed.
Let's take a peek at these objectives. We have Beast, Fill Urns, Barrels, Agrabah Treasure Room, and Twin Lords. We have Oogie Boogie and Experiment. We have Screens, Zigbar, Syx, Yeet. We have a Yeet, and Sephiroth.
Hey. So we've got quite a big spread from what we can tell. Quite a few.
9 first visit objectives.
9, yeah. And we've got some unlocks that help contribute towards some of them. We have access to STT at Beast Castle, both Halloween Town visits, Pride Lands, OC, and Hollow Bastion. Obviously,
this has a chance of being a very quick lead if we can find all these other first visits.
Oh, yeah. With the amount of synergy with certain locations having 2 objectives, early light and darkness as a fun tool to have in Who's House. There's certainly a chance and an opportunity should the unlocks fall the way that they might want. But obviously, that's the big question.
That's the game.
We do see Flare Force in the shop. I think that was for 600. So not too expensive.
Yep.
At least not 2,000.
Also, yeah, yes, yeah. Dex has also just picked up Horizontal Slash in the first 3 Pride Lands, as does Timbo.
We're really giving them everything. I guess the first thing going through their head is, where does this seed go wrong? But I think outside of the matchups between each other, this is probably a rare situation we see the races actually do exactly this similar openings, but not the exact same. Yeah.
Yeah, being on crit with Pride Lands available, that's almost always going to be the first place you go.
Yeah.
Did find a money pouch in the first bulk of checks after the first fight.
Getting nice utility, but haven't got any ICs yet. Especially with the amount of first visit OBJs, really hoping to find some unlocks here. Albeit, again, more utility with Stitch.
Right.
And there we go, there's one. Well, there was.
Well, it's 2 objectives. Yep, it is 2 objectives, though.
Yeah. So a quick talk about the objective synergy we have on the board. We have quite a few first visits that have 2 objectives in this case. Obviously, the roughest one to see off rip is The World Never Was, probably. But you do have, say, Agrabah. That's pretty nice to see. You do have Halloween Town is like a bit of a long-winded synergy there.
Yeah, and you did start with both of them, and also Halloween Town 2 is pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's a really nice key lane. 7/7
Mm.
Thunder Boost, Mysterious Abyss. That's not coming up for a while,
Yeah.
if ever.
Well, I could see a world it comes off during an XP boost, but
Yeah.
after that, excluding
Mhm.
that, maybe you want to have that as your default. Not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Dex making quick use of the money patch that they were obtained,
Buzz.
making sure they got Flare Force.
Yes. Yeah, you see that in the shop, especially for 600. You get a money pouch, instant purchase.
Seeing very mirrored paths between Timbo and Dex. We'll see whether or not either of them choose just the shotgun versus actually pushing through.
Shadow Archive. Me good with the Blizzard we just picked up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a page. It's 20% of the way toward one objective.
I think that's the one objective you might want to not have to do.
Yeah. Unless all of the pages are thrown in your face, you're probably not doing it.
Yeah. See, Timbo has chosen to do the just the shotgun.
Mhm.
I do think it's interesting that we've chosen to do the shotgun of BC, but not take the left first. I think it's just a minor time save, though.
I
Choosing
think
to go left
I
first.
think that was a better time save when we weren't using Cutscene Skipper because you avoid the
Right.
cutscene there. But with Cutscene Skipper,
Mhm.
it really is minimal because you can
It's
just
pretty
lead from
negligible.
parlor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dex says in going into Thresholder.
Yeah.
You got 20 magic, you got a Blizzard. Should make pretty good work.
Mm-hmm.
Stitch to
And
refill
hey,
MP and Baby protect you.
yeah. In the meantime, we see
And give you health
Limit
lips.
Form. Limit Form is found in Halloween Town.
Oh, yeah.
So with that light and darkness that has been found by Timbo, he can force Final Form if he would like.
And have a good spot to do so once he gets to Candy Cane Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Deck taking the time to kill the gargoyles, make sure you don't get bullied. Nice dodge roll the attack.
And
Was that getting through?
That's right. We did see Timbo get a small amount of levels going through the Halloween Town like graveyard section, making use of Dance Call, but it feels a tad less powerful, in my opinion, on crit to do the Dance Call there. But granted, it's still got some level of stats from it. But not nothing. Wasted. And is through.
And we have a Thunder for our Thunder Boost.
Mm-hmm. Do I think that Timbo is going to push straight through to Oogie here.
I would say probably not.
maybe. It's not the greatest play until at least you forced final.
Right.
What I will say. Yeah, this is one of those rare times that, like, if you are trying to make use of the, the extra stats you get from killing the soldiers, I believe they are.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a good opportunity to, get some levels in terms of like drive levels prepped. But
yeah, gives a little bit of.
He killed the first wave, so that's going to be
Mm-hmm.
a little awkward. He'll have to come back if he wants some. This instance. Instead, just electing to force in the world there was, I would assume. I don't think Timbo has really checked his keyblades though, so it doesn't.
Oh, first try. Love
first try final. Pretty fortunate. But that's where a huge amount of the deficit, I believe, in the magic stat is, combined with the Shadow Archive.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, despite being 4 levels ahead.
I have not gotten a 7th try. I have gotten its 6th try.
I have definitely had a 7th try during a qualifier.
Oof.
That was that was it was fine. I came first in that qualifier.
Well, we have auto final to go with our final.
Yeah. In case deck doesn't check 100 Acre Wood,
Mm-hmm.
it's a means of final. So now I think if you're in Timbo's shoes, you have a little bit of an interesting conundrum here. Is what's the first big thing you push post Bailey?
Right.
Looks like Timbo's probably going to check this first page, get his first hint, maybe make a move depending on what gets hinted. But assuming nothing else gets hinted, I would endeavor that we're looking at Bailey into probably Beast.
Yeah, probably Beast. With that Thunder and Final Form, should probably also try to do Darkthorn.
Yeah.
Get your 2 prog points. Get your second hint. And then if there's no unlock on Darkthorn, because we know there's no unlock through Beast, it would probably be OC next.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think there's more of a shout here on Deck's point of view to actually potentially go through to Oogie here.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly just due to the fact that we actually geared our stats up, so we actually have something to work with in terms of clearing the Prison Keeper fight.
Alright, we're good.
Apologies for any technical difficulties that you might be seeing. But in the meantime, we do get a magnet from the early Hollow Bastion. So really giving them all the tools at the base level that we need. Really setting themselves up for success.
Yeah, pretty slow start with the tools, but then a little bit of a ramp up here.
Yeah. We do get our first hint though. It's not technically the worst hint, but not the best hint.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have a hint for drives. It has a scimitar on it.
Ooh, we got Shock Charm Plus on limit 3.
That goes very well with that Thunder we've already have.
Mm-hmm. Dusk hiding in the corner,
But
being a meanie.
yeah, little rude. But Timbo should be able to make quick work of this Bailey fight, especially with limit form. Um, making use of Ripple Drive there, and should just have one more wave, and should be through. Yeah, so the fact that Scimitar gives two objectives, two first visit objectives at that, and we still have final levels to try to explore is interesting. An interesting dive here.
Okay.
Definitely from Timbo's point of view. Going
I
straight
mean,
into STT.
I have seen Timbo do this before, so I mean, I guess it makes sense in that case.
Yeah. This is an early gambit, no doubt.
We do have limit form. We'll get limit level 4 out of this at some point.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. So has made quick use of the Cypher fights to get limit 4. Was probably hoping to get Scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe so that he could get out during the quote-unquote STT shotgun.
Right.
But obviously no dice there. From our reactions, we can probably guess that this is probably not what we would anticipate that you would do in this spot.
Yep.
But it has its merits, especially with the fire, the magnet, and limit form. It's not like we're lacking tools to actually clear STT.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Timbo hasn't really looked to improve his stats with the Keyblades and the accessories. Oh my gosh. All of these things to go with the Thunders. Just we've seen what, 2 Thunder boosts and Thundara?
Yep.
Nice. That's a lot of Thunder.
2/3 of the way to Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
We have our second money pouch. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a second money pouch from STT. Now, I will say that unless STT gets hinted relatively early, there is a chance that Dex doesn't go into STT.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is an interesting dichotomy here. I think Dex most likely will do the things available on hand. But we shall see. Interestingly, Dex not going into limit here. Probably could have made use of the limit form to try and clean up these waves relatively quickly. But instead is electing to use the blizzards to clear.
Lined them up pretty well.
Yeah. So Deck is indeed. Oh, never mind. Had a look in OC. Then probably remembered, oh, I have Light and Darkness. Probably should consider getting Final Form first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Deck might be making the descend into OC.
Yep.
Try to go for that Earns objective. Feel like what we're seeing from Deck is a more direct point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Play the objectives that you have and hope that unlocks come when you're doing the objectives that are in view. Interestingly, took off the Thunder Boost keyword. You cannot trigger anti-form during struggle fights because you do not have your other party members.
Oh,
we do
my.
get a membership card, so that opens up Sephiroth on
Okay.
the board.
It is
I'm not
certainly an
too
objective.
sure he's happy to see that. And so that's certainly a world unlock. Let's see.
HP2 will still be probably useful. A lot of potential for tricks in there.
Mm-hmm. And it's considered a lot of free checks, especially all the way up to and including Ansem Study.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definite merit to having the access. Just in terms of the objective board, we're just less happy to see it overall.
Right. And through Sunset Terrace now.
Hmm?
We have a Berserk charge to go with our Hori Slash.
Mm-hmm. So now that Zigbar objective is looking mightily free, especially with Flare Force in the shop, so can definitely make reasonable work of the Zigbar fight. Meanwhile, Deck is having just being patient with this final wave in Hades Escape, not wanting to take a death here is totally understandable.
Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, I'm surprised I haven't used Limit Form yet. Timo now making his way to the mansion.
Mm-hmm. And whilst he's on the way to the mansion, he did get us our second hint. A hint for Pride Lands, which just tells us that we've gotten everything we can get from Pride Lands.
Mm-hmm.
Really not much else. Not the most useful hint, to be really honest. At least we know that there's not much value in going back.
So he's getting through Cerberus. Coming up on their second OBJ here. There's a torn page in STT. That's 2 out of 5.
We're 40% of the way there. We are coming up to the end of STT. Is there anything in that you really want to see, or you just don't want to see anything more? STT.
I mean, if the other scimitars just chilling here on Axel 2 or after, that's pretty crazy.
True.
But that's about it. ID disc would be nice.
Yeah.
We get our next hint. LOD has Valor Form, Way to the Dawn, and Ice Cream. And War That Never Was has our other Battlefields of War. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Dex is picking up Magnera in OC. Oh, there's a glide.
Glide.
Oh my goodness.
Timbo now following up behind Deck. So we'll see from Deck's point of view what else there is to be found, at least through to the lock.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but an interesting difference is that Timbo does have a fire should he push through to OC Demix
Mm-hmm.
to complement the final form, whilst Deck was most likely going to pull out Flare Force. Maybe not, from what we're seeing.
Now would be the time,
Yeah.
and we're past the time.
hmm I will note, I don't think I've seen Timbo buy the Donald stuff yet.
Yeah, he has not spent his money yet.
Um,
Would be a really good spot to spend it right now after Hades escape with the shop right next to
mhm.
you. Okay, skill and crossbones right before the lock.
Okay. And that opens up the barrels objective
Mm-hmm.
and a decent spot to get some levels to go with that thunder and all of those thunder boosts that we have. We should have
Mm-hmm.
no trouble
And summon Stitch
clearing.
for safety and mana
hmm
refill, and be good.
Fortunately, I don't think we've seen an experience boost so far.
No.
Um, and so obviously it's a little, a little greedy thing that you kind of want to have for this, but uh, it's a luxury. It's not a necessity, is the way to put it. Um,
Yes. The blizzards will not be one-shotting the pirates right
yeah.
now, but a thunder should with that thunder boost.
hmm I mean, alternatively, if you throw a thunder whilst in final form, then you should also, or a blizzard, they
Mm-hmm.
should also go down.
Magic. Okay,
And
now the
it's a
blizzard might
blizzard.
one-shot.
I mean, some would call that timely.
Yeah.
I guess the question I have is, do you make the consideration to push Hydra here,
Um.
or do you just leave after lock, if you even push the lock?
I think I leave before Hydra, especially for Timbo right now, because Demix will get you your next hint anyway.
hmm
If I was 1 or 2 points away from my next hint threshold and Hydra would be giving my next hint, then probably I would do it.
I think that's a totally fair
But if I'm
reason.
Timbo right now, I'm looking to go through Demix and then go to Beast and then go to Halloween Town probably.
hmm It is notable that just like one of the scenes that I commentated for them, they still don't have a reflect
Mm-hmm.
in the seed. And it was also OBJs.
Yep.
They're probably hoping that they do find one.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, at least through the level checks that we've done, we have yet to see any checks in levels,
Yeah.
which is a little unfortunate, to say the least.
Now we see Timbo going into final form for those fires. So normally when you're doing final form loops on bosses and such, you don't want to use the finisher because it will trigger RVs. This is a situation where you do want to use the finisher because it just increases the range massively.
Obviously, the finisher has the one downside of exacerbating the amount of form that it actually consumes at the same time. But that just comes with the territory of, clipping the clones easier.
Right. Yeah, I don't think.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think Timbo has put on accessories at all.
Yeah, no,
And,
he has not. I don't
that's
think he's
gonna
really
be-
looked at his keyblades either. So he hasn't really looked at the Sora item menu, I think. That's the main thing.
It's gonna be a pretty big deal.
Which he might, going into the minute fight at Isle. Maybe checking for experience boost then is what he might do.
I think the time to do it would be when you pick up Jack for your party.
Yeah. This barrels is getting a little spooky for Dex.
He's using the Magna Era to keep them at bay. There we go.
Does get through. It's spooky. It's 800 echo wood. Okay. Does appear that Deck is probably going to just push through to Barbosa, get the next hint. But in the meantime, we do get the hint for 100 acre wood on Timbo's side. If we hadn't spoken about it already, it has Wisdom Form. That's it. Yeah, that's a little bit concerning, obviously. But Timbo does have the ability to check the next page if he would like.
Did
I
it
believe-
customize? There we go. Now he's checking stuff.
Sees that Thunder Boost Keyblade, puts it on. Probably putting on Shadow Archive, maybe the Moon Amulet. I would imagine.
Spent his money, unfortunately.
Still hasn't spent any money.
Gonna go spend it, I think. Sees that he's out of ethers. Yep. Hopefully he remembers to grab the Flare Force.
Does not.
Oh boy.
So that's unfortunate. But he's going to go through the remainder of Port Royal, at least through the barrels. If you were Timbo, given what's available to you, do you make the push into Beast, after Beast Castle, that is, and barrels? Do you make the push into HB?
Yes. Well, I would go do Oogie first, at least, and then probably go into HB.
I think that's fair.
And we do see Roxas for
we
Nexus.
just I don't recall, but we may have seen auto limit. But this might just be a quick run. I'm not entirely too sure. Didn't see their menu. He has limit though. Yeah.
I think the safe play would be to the safe and effective play would be to steal the Keyblades, do limit form until you run out, and then just quick run them the rest of the way. But just a quick run is acceptable as well. Ooh, he gets behind him. There we go.
Was a little awkward to set up initially.
It does work, and it can be faster than just a regular quick run.
Yeah. So this does work. The issue of why it's not on the actual wall is because of if you don't approach Roxas directly, he will go off at an angle, and with how circles work, you just fall short of.
It is difficult to get him here consistently. So it's really just kind of a luck thing. If you get him here, you're just like, okay, cool, I get a fast one this time.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to be more careful to make sure you stay straight at the wall, though.
So let's see whether or not, as Tippy would like to say, that the kid always has something, or not
Mm-hmm.
in this case. We do know that at most we're going to get an OC unlock in terms of our progression items. But there is a chance, obviously, for, say, explosion or such other abilities of use, maybe experience boost. And there's that OC unlock that we knew about. Fortunately, blue straight away, so no important checks can be here, but still have a possibility of abilities. Might be making use of these early nobodies. Unfortunately, Thunder doesn't work on sorcerers. So we'll need to make use of the magnets and our blades. Is not electing to go into the elevator. Meanwhile, Timbo does push through to Barbosa. Is now on hint 7 though. Gets a humongous hint for Hollow Bastion. That's quite a bit of important checks there.
Unfortunately, though, the only ones leading toward an objective are the 2 torn pages.
Yes. Yeah, so we have a lot of filler progression with the Ice Cream, a Proud Fang, which leads to a blue Pride Lance that we already know about, a LOD unlock, which could be useful. Don't know whether or not it's going to be, and another skill in Crossbones, which again could be useful.
We do see STT out of Dexes now.
Mm-hmm.
Now this makes a little bit more sense. You're starting to run out of progression.
Yeah.
You have rest of Halloween Town, you have Thresholder, and you have OC
Hydra.
Finishing Hydra and OC2.
Hydra and OCP. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, we are seeing Timbo go through the early checks in HB to perhaps going to do a core skip, I would imagine, would be relatively valuable. Albeit I think the more valuable thing is that reflect first of all. And then potentially getting the final form levels that you can get from the nobodies that we can visit from dances and the corridors fight. Really hoping to get that scimitar off of drives here, if you are Timbo. It's a cure. Unfortunately, as we know, the world progression items here in Hollow Bastion 2 don't necessarily lead us directly to an objective so far.
The only one that maybe could is the second skill in Crossbones. There could be something sitting in PR2. We know that LOD does not have anything we need at the moment, unless for some reason we have to go past Sykes or into CT.
I don't think we would mind getting that ice cream either,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. We still haven't been able to visit Twilight Town. There is, quite the bulk of checks early on there. In the meantime, Deck is now facing Twilight Thorn. Doesn't appear what to be trying to aggressively level limit form, which you could try and do off of Twilight Thorn. In the meantime, Timbo gets another aerial dodge to complement the additional glide that is at the end of STT that we know about.
Yeah, it barely gets the kill off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, holding forward when you're through the clip will get you to just jump out.
Mm-hmm. Does finally get the clip.
To the ledge. Not gonna have quite enough movement to get there just in base form. Ooh, with the fire, maybe? Okay.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, it's a total of 5 between your quick run and your aerial dodge is kind of what you want as safety for the force skip. So
Yeah,
finding that aerial dodge is pretty nice.
Yeah, aerial dodge 3 is what makes it easier to get up to the ledge as well. Only with glide 2 in final form. I'm gonna slow climb here. Unless you spam the glide, you'll go up a little bit faster.
Yep.
Gets through.
And it is now going to be able to see the bulk of the checks in core. Obviously, by doing core skip, we do not enable ourselves the ability to see the final chest core's contents, but we can see based on the chest visuals what type of item it might be. And gets an extra magnet as well as the ice cream. Just to reiterate to people joining, we have seen STT already from Timbo relatively earlier on in the seed. And so that's why we're just talking about what we are picking up here in core instead. Specifically like this Proud Fang.
There's one of the pages.
Page. There's now 60% of the way there towards Yeet. Fortunately, we still don't know where the last page is in terms of general location. If you're a Yeeters fan, you probably don't want to see the last chest be a page. It's not. It appears to be a weapon chest.
Yep.
And Timbo can just head on out.
See if he decides to do Dancer's Fight before leaving. I would imagine he would.
Yeah.
Get that last final level available to you.
Also, 2 easy chests to quickly view. So not electing to actually view the chests early.
Oh, no, he does.
Sees them later on.
One of them was an accessory chest. The other one, I'm not sure yet. You get a combo boost to Final 4.
The other one wasn't a page, is what I could tell.
Okay. Is he going to do Demix? He's going to do Demix.
It appears to be the case.
The moment I see somebody pause there, I'm just like, you there grabbing a drive recovery.
Yeah.
We do have Fyra, Final Form, 34 Magic. Should be pretty decent through at least Demix. We do have Magnega going further, but we won't have the stats to make it easy. Final Fantasy fights wouldn't be too bad if he decides to keep going, but 1K would be not as fast as it could
Probably,
be.
yeah. 1K might be the stretch that probably wouldn't be doing, at least not yet. I would imagine.
That mix just falls over.
Unfortunately, doesn't have the page that we're hoping to see.
Thought about it. Gonna go back and get those chests and probably come back here later if wants the page or decides to go to Sephi.
Or alternatively, is going to go check pages. Unfortunately, whilst in STT, Deck gets the hint for STT. And Deck finds out during Hexel that it's blue. Which is a relatively unfortunate time to see that.
Also,
also
Halloween
find out
time is blue.
Is blue, yeah. Which would start to make you a little concerned about trying to get into Agrabah, I would imagine. With every chance that Agrabah is just locked by itself. It could be pretty spooky. We also still have yet to see a glimpse of a identity disc, so that's probably something that's on our radar of things we want to find.
Also making it seem that STT may have been the required progression. Because really the only spots they have not checked that were available to them pretty early are the OCP and Hydra and Darkthorn. The only two spots that progression other than the membership card would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, also the only scary part right now about deciding that you definitely don't want to do Yeet and Sephi is the Scimitar situation, with the only hinted one being on drives and Agrabah being unhinted at this moment.
Yeah. Really wanting to find a hint towards a Scimitar that is hopefully not Agrabah.
Yeah, because you're pretty much down to PR2, TT,
Twilight Town,
and SP, and Beast Castle. And I suppose the end of OC. And with a page being deeper in Hollow Bastion,
you might get pushed towards you might get pushed towards the Sephiroth objective combined with the Yeet objective if we get that 5th page on our way, say in Twilight Town.
So yeah,
for those yeah, go on.
So I was gonna say, at this point, I think the last 2 objectives that our runners are gonna do are probably gonna be Oogie and Experiment. Considering there's nothing else there, you don't really have a reason to go back there. I mean, you could do it sooner for the prog.
Yeah.
But at this point, I don't see them going back there at this moment.
No. But Timbo is going to check Darkthorn, so we will rule out one more location, only leaving the OC 1 locations that were not checked left on the board that could have held our progression. So maybe this SCT was required.
Yeah.
But we'll have to find out soon.
Theoretically, if there's something in OC2 as well, that could mean ST2 is not required because of the
Mhm.
battlefields being directly after Roxas.
Yeah. His deck is also going to head all the way down to Demix, but has the duck flare that's in the shop, so likely isn't needing to do too many final strats, I would imagine.
Okay, here comes a Oogie and at least Oogie push for Prague.
Yeah, so with the Oogie push, Timbo will receive his next hint. We'll find out a little bit more information to piece together what he can do to close out the seed. In the meantime, deck hopefully will remember that they have Duck Flare this time. But instead just elects to use Final Form. Fair enough.
Yep.
And is just going to burn through Demix. Might run out of drive gauge though.
That's the difference of it being level 2 versus level 3 versus Timbo's level 4.
Oh, yeah. Is diving straight into Final Fantasy fights though.
You got Magnega, you got Thundara, a couple Thunder Boosts. It should be pretty quick.
Especially if the Final Fantasy members cooperate here.
Also, just got to make sure you pay attention to your MP and try to throw your ethers before you run out.
Yep. Meanwhile, we are on to Oogie on Timo's side. So if we're looking to push
experiment immediately after.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. If you had pushed this far, do we just go into experiment? And that would make a ton of sense.
Dance Call's just too good.
Yeah, especially combine the fact that we have Reflect, so we can set up Reflect Dance Call combinations.
I believe we're just over the floor as well.
So the yellow boxes are indicators from Timbo himself saying he has access to those objectives, with the goal in these settings that you need to complete 10 of the 12 listed objectives and then finish off final fights.
Yeah, I do this myself when I'm playing objective seeds. I always just mark what I have access to, so I don't have to think about it later on.
Unfortunately, deck without SCOM gets pierced by 1K, but does find the page in Crystal Fissure, but doesn't have the page from Core. So, unfortunately, if they want both pages, is going to need to go through 1K.
Yep.
And in the meantime, you want to talk about the other two hints that we got from Timbo's side?
Yeah, so Twilight Town has the last page and an Identity Disc and a Royal Summons. Royal Summons isn't doing much for you, but the other two are really good. And Port Royal 2 has nothing. We also see that the other Scimitar is in Beast Castle too. And our remaining Beast Claw is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing would be it's in Agrabah. That would be upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either in Agrabah, Space Paranoids, or
All levels.
OC, or Levels.
Yes. Is that deck in the meantime is using the magnets layered on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit more MP expensive have this set up. But he's using that to try to create a mini tornado, I guess is the way of putting it. Mini blender.
And doing a great job of using limit form to get the MP back.
Mm-hmm.
With and the magnets will build your drive back up immediately.
Yep. Just gotta be careful here
Mm-hmm.
because has already seen will die in one single combo.
Yep.
Just needs to play it safe.
Ooh. Nice job getting that magnet off.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, Timbo gets a reflect after going quickly clearing station in Twilight Town.
There's the identity disc.
There's the ID disc.
The deck got the Sword of the Ancestor off of 1K and is going into LOD1.
So I assume deck might be hoping for some of these important checks to be relatively early in LOD.
Mm-hmm.
Namely the ice cream, I would imagine.
Ice cream. Yeah, Valor form as well, with Scimitar on drives.
Scimitar still on drives and still not being found yet. I do think, interestingly enough, Timbo is going to clear this. You think he's going to go directly into SP with access to screens, or?
Yeah, I would. You have Stitch. Your Thundaras will absolutely kill in one shot. Just spam Thundara until your magic gets high enough to turn on the magnets.
Yep. And he is to be going straight there. Is that both negative combos on keys?
I think it was. I am surprised he didn't put on the Thunder Boost Keyblade. The air combo boost is nice for some of the stuff he's been doing, but for this you definitely want the Thunder Boost and the 7 magic.
Yes.
He could be thinking he has enough magic to just be doing the magnets, but he's not quite there yet. The accessory slot, that's really nice.
That is really nice. It helps complement, hopefully, based on items we have so far. Might boost the magic stat ever so close. Good. And in the meantime, there's the Valor form on Mountain Trail for deck.
But it's not hiding too deep. And unfortunately also finds high jump level 4.
Unfortunately, you can't sell the high jumps yet. As much as some of the crit runners would love to be able to do. They would love to sell it. But in the meantime, is going to push through the village cave. I guess if you are deck, do you make the consideration here of minute fight or not in LOD?
Probably not at this juncture. I'll definitely probably go back to core.
Is we didn't check the summit at all. Chose to refresh our drive gauge beforehand, so this might be an indication that we are indeed looking to go through it. Never mind. Turns around.
Yep.
Proves me wrong.
Stitch is playing nice. We'd love to see it.
But doesn't look our stats are playing that nice.
Well, to be fair, we haven't gained very many levels yet, with it being crit XP from everything, and
oh yeah. Oh, I'm also just pointing out from deck who is on level 29 already.
Yeah.
It's not emphatically in one direction or the other. If you look at deck's stats distribution, unfortunately. And with Timbo not being in critical, Stitch is probably not very inclined to ukulele. So we can't just force a blender combined with the ukulele. So instead, it's just going to have to rely on those thunders that we've been mentioning.
Yep. Thankfully, Stitch is doing a really good job with the MP.
Got relatively close to level 30. Probably what Timbo wanted, but fell just short. So if you're Timbo and you have still a unhinted SP, do you check hostile program?
Not yet. I have other objectives available to me that will get me the hint for SP before I have to check it.
Correct. Because I had a feeling that Timbo is going to check it.
Yeah. Dex says going to Zigbar. 30,
this makes a ton of sense.
36, 35? Is that what I'm saying? Or 35, 35. Yeah. 36, 35. That'll work.
You do know they have Berserk Hori though. So should deck elect to use Duck Flare to go into Berserk, could manage it, even considering the situation. Never mind.
And
Donald goes down.
Did not equip Berserk Charge.
Yeah. Is a little scary. I think ideally here you just want to try and get into another room. Try not to push too aggressive. Use final form, maybe.
Yeah, I would definitely. Unfortunately, gets caught by the attacks there with no once more.
Yeah.
I think the way I'd be approaching this fight in general is just getting him into a room transition and going into final form, and then when my final form runs out, just instantly go into a Duck Flare, and that should end it. Yeah. He does put on the Berserk Charge this time, though.
Meanwhile, we see Timbo now also in the Wilderness Wars. Is, however, going to have to deal with Roxas first. doesn't appear that Timbo is going for Keyblade, so
Is
he's
the final
trying
form?
to loop.
It's the only time you're happy to see a DM is when you're on 1 HP. You're just like,
Mhm.
please stay away from me. And down goes the duck. You just see a Berserk Quarry for the last bit, just till we got the MP back. And there's the duck flare, and that'll do it.
He's through.
And Timbo is through Roxas.
Mm-hmm. So, would you consider either player to have a lead at this point? Because the content done is very different between the races.
Right.
And like Doctor in chat has pointed out, Deck has the available option of getting some drive level 5s that Timo does not as of yet,
Mhm.
due to not having the Valor form.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Beast Claw, we did see the second Beast Claw is in Agrabah. So the only available scimitar to us right now is on drives. So this seed got a whole lot funky. We do, however, know that scimitar will be not on a level 7, Master Form being in Agrabah.
Mm-hmm. We do find out also that OC has the final form that is naturally found there.
Mm-hmm.
So both races are very probably glad to see that.
Yep.
Having done Light and Darkness in Pooh's house, probably doesn't need to worry about it now. But you might be now incentivized also to push your pages
Mm-hmm.
to get that wisdom form. We don't know whether or not that is required. See, both races are just clearing through the fights in the castle right as of now, and is having different approaches to some of their fights. Looks like
Mm-hmm.
Timbo just went straight for a berserk or via duck flare, picks it up finally through the shop.
Yep. That was in the final form. Yeah, when you're in room transition, you usually don't want to use the finisher for duck flare because it will put him out of the room, which can be dangerous like this. Yep,
And
there's
we'll
the DM.
get you a DM. Unfortunately, Deck was trying to go for a DM skip, goes into limit form, but doesn't handle the cards from Luxord, and takes off the high jump this time. That was causing them some significant issues being on high jump level 4.
I will be right back.
No wrong. Is that Jimbo has had to reset his fight with Zigbar. And the one thing I like to preach about Zigbar, if you don't go for the fast kill, i.e. Before the room transition, is to just have some patience. This time, going with the advice from Bob, goes into final form first, making use of the final form combos and with fire, magnet, needs to be careful here. After taking a few hits. Ooh. Unfortunately takes a death.
Apologies, my water was empty and I was quite parched.
Good. Good to stay hydrated.
Yes.
You are seeing a little bit of struggles. Interestingly to note, IBA, the Valathon was on Mountain Trail. So they probably didn't think that they had great opportunities to level it then, and Deck had already pushed past Roxas. So just the timing was very poor for them. But
So
this
someone's
time,
going to be able to keep Zigbar in? There we go. They both get through.
Timbo. Interesting. That goes into limit form a little early, I would say. Going to Syx.
Yeah, walked toward the save point. Looked like it was going to reset his drive, but then decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, we've definitely had the drives hint.
Oh, the drives hint was very early.
Was hint 1. Yeah. So it is definitely to be noted that they both well aware about the scimitar on drives, but we're probably hoping that the other scimitar was more accessible than it is now that we know all we need to know about Beast Castle 2.
So you're talking about who probably has a lead right now? I didn't really have an answer. Now looking at it, I think Timbo is in the lead because of the identity disc in Twilight Town.
Mm-hmm.
And, Dex says has not found an ice cream yet. With the other ID disc being in SP.
There is a chance in this seed that the logical progression might require us to check our pages.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, those Yeeters fans might be in luck. Maybe. Just maybe.
Maybe. Fortunately, the only way we're getting to Yeet is if the ice cream in Land of Dragons is on Shan Yu, and the page in TT is in TT2.
Yeah.
Because if we need the third ice cream out of Agrabah, then we're definitely not eating.
We're definitely not eating if we're on either side, if that is the case. True. But it's not. The hopes and dreams of the Yeeters are
not dashed yet.
Yes. Fortunately, Deck is having some troubles with Syx here. not being the kindest individual, with not much help from our party members crumpling off the start of the fight either.
We have nearly reached the point where the scimitar off of drives is fully required to complete the seed. Very nearly. As it may be holding access to Yeet and the 2 objectives there.
Mm-hmm. If there's one thing I would like to see right now, especially from Deck's point of view, is just pushing some of our other content that we need to do that is available to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because this doesn't hold any objectives of ours hostage. I do think it's very valiant that we are trying to push it as far as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Get the objective whilst we're here. But
Timbo getting through left
last
third.
thing we need to get frustrated. Does successfully get final form off this time. Obviously, the final form will not last the full duration, though. To interrupt.
Good timing there.
Get Stitch. Minor safety.
Unfortunately, using 2 reflex there on the dash attack, it will not come out in time to knock him away before he goes into the berserk. Hits him out again, though. Stitch not letting him land.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, missed the reflex damage there. We'll have to look to interrupt once more with a berserk on the Claymore.
Oh.
And is through.
Stitch helped a lot there, actually, at the end.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Timbo is just exiting earlier, likely not wanting to push the envelope too much, doing a quick check of the Disney Castle shotgun.
And Dex is going in to check core now.
Mm-hmm. Knows that the ice cream must be in core or piece check. So it's probably checking this first. Why we're seeing the core fights themselves.
I think the biggest piece of advice I have for these runners so far is when you are using ethers and not elixirs, always make sure to try to use them before you run out of MP. Because then you find yourself in very scary spots like we're in the one right now.
Does get through it.
I agree that in general, the first fight is the scariest one. The second fight is very scary if you don't have magnets.
Yeah. Or chicken.
Yeah.
But if you are deck, you have found chicken
Mm-hmm.
through LOD. Should be able to make use of chicken at least help manage the fight, since we have elected to choose to fight them. Does get the ice cream though.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see whether or not there's a pivot away now that we are having our hands on the ice cream. Is marking the objectives available to them though. Recognizes that, hey, don't have access to Agrabah, don't have access to Eat, might want to look for this page.
Yep.
And we'll see through Timbo's point of view whether or not this wisdom form is on the next page.
I don't think I've ever seen an intentional switch to full screen mid race before.
I think what happened is that when they clicked out, their visuals sizing warped and needed to change it mid race.
Yeah, I play on board of the full screen, and sometimes when I alt tab, it switches to 1600 by 900 for some reason, and I have to switch that to make it go back to 1920 by 1080.
I am someone that during races will play windowed, but when not streaming, I will try to play it full screen.
I just always play borderless full screen. That's what I do.
Oh, I just don't have the window space. Because I need my other screen full when I usually have to race others.
Yeah.
Surely working during this time.
Explosion!
Explosion! So Timbo's probably not too happy to see it now, but is happy to see it in general. But from what we know, still doesn't have access to that wisdom form. So that valor form in LOD might become extremely critical here.
Yeah, Timbo's definitely going to want to push toward 1K.
Mm-hmm. He's instead going through to experiment first. Probably using some of these fights that are relatively automatic as a time to think about it. Unfortunately, got Duck Flare off instead of the dance call, which is probably what he was hoping to have come out. But
yeah, Duck Flare works to get their health down pretty well, but it does spread them out, unfortunately.
And we can see one of them didn't get captured by the Duck Flare, and unfortunately he pays the price.
I'll probably be making sure he has dance call this time.
Does get the reflect dance call set up though. It looks like Deck is going to fall behind Timbo in terms to go right behind in 100 Acre. However, we'll be able to check Spooky Cave. So we'll see whether or not the Wisdom form is in Spooky Cave. Almost logically guaranteed to be in Spooky. However, not yet exactly. He's taking a bit of a risk here, having taken some lives in the honey slider. Likely will just make sure they don't take too many hits here
These last two sections, you can just grab Gopher and hold left,
and hold
you're
left.
fine.
Yep. And deck is just going to go right behind and find that explosion if they open the ability chest.
Oh
Does
no!
not.
Oh no!
Very unfortunate. Find out. I think that's a really big thing to skip right now.
Yeah.
Especially since we don't have one small, we should still be checking our ability chests.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just a minor oversight from Deck's point of view. Unfortunately, Timbo is currently fighting what some might call surely the most balanced fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 in experiments.
I used to be a hater of the experiment fight. However, lately I have figured out how to do it properly, and it's incredibly easy.
Yeah.
The
Especially
only
given what tools they have.
Yeah, the only scary part is this middle bit where experiments working apart. But
Yes.
if you just manage to stay near, you can just get the kick spring back and forth. Even if it doesn't go to the head, you can still just keep it in there. But yeah, the way I've been doing it is just start with the dance call immediately, and if you have the stats for it, you will get him to the point where he breaks. You just end the dance call before you get to the finisher, do a air combo, and he'll break.
Yep.
And you guard the first attack in the phase while he's broken. You use kick spring until he reforms, and then you dance call again, and you're done.
So it appears that Deck didn't really go ahead and check the chests in 100 Acre Wood, and we don't know whether or not Wisdom Form is actually in Spooky Cave. Which is of very high importance, I would be intending to believe at this point.
I think he's kind of expecting this torn page to be here in TT1, and is going to be disappointed when he finds out it's not. Is Tim doing an auto form right now?
Yes, he's put on Auto Valor.
Okay.
Which is interesting that we've chosen to do this over pushing Final Fantasy fights.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
From Auto Valor 2.
Wow. Okay.
And puts himself into go mode.
Great game. Thanks, Rando.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Just level Valor, smile.
Level Valor. If Deck just simply reverts now and tries to get Valor 2, might also get the Scimitar. That's incredible. And also decent recognition from Timbo. That it's something he had to give, and just shortcutting the seed a little bit with the Auto Valor. If I was Timbo, I would advise him to just
play the lottery.
Just zoom. Just zoom. Just zoom. Just go.
Don't pick up anything.
Deck is now leveling Valor. Won't get it from this first fight though.
Unfortunately, even if Dex does pick up the Valorvorm here, will be, I believe, locked in to go to the top or pick up the Scimitar here. Likes
Instead
to
goes
use Final
to
Form.
use Final Form for the clear. Understandable. Is now using Valor. Will find that Scimitar likely on this second fight right there.
There it is.
And now has the information that they are now in go mode. Meanwhile, Timbo pushing Abu has found Master Form, which is a funny location for Master Form.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Deck, gets to the top, gets a Royal Summons instead of a page that they were probably hoping for. And is going to be disappointed to see that final chest not being green. Goes back.
I think they realized. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, realize that they can just go into Agrabah.
Once they're done with her, they will still have to go back and clear HT 1 and 2 and screens before they have their go mode.
Before they can get to final fights. Yes. Unfortunately, Deck probably a little too used to beginner. Because even our current stats, these bandits hit pretty hard.
Yep.
They can very much cause the death of use very quickly on crit. So
if 21 damage or 21 defense, it's not a lot on crit.
No, it's really not. Meanwhile, we see Timbo on his final objective, his 10th, being Twin Lords.
Using the reflex. I would go into Final Form for the reflex because you obtain a little bit of mobility and make sure they actually hit what you're trying to hit with them.
Yep.
And there it is. 10 out of 10.
And is now going to be on his way through the final fights. Gets a ice cream for his troubles.
Grab some bulky vendors. Not quite at the ceiling for Final Zem.
Let's get there with the strength stat.
Back to deck strength increases on 33 and 34. AP on 35. Another difference is the XP difference on crit also affects the bulky vendors, so you get 3,000 per vendor instead of 4.
Yep. But doesn't get any magic ups going through those bulkies. But should still have a more than sufficient time. Just putting on a whole stack of Mega Elixirs, it appears.
And in we go. Yeah, that auto dialer saved Timbo a lot of time. Saved him going all the way to
Yes.
1K and then all the way to mountain climb in
Mhm.
LOD. And that would have been the time that Dexter needed to get back into it.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Timbo got a little desperate, recognized the possibility of
Hmm.
the auto forms, and just went from the top down. Is now going into screens, as you mentioned.
Hmm.
Should be able to go in and out very quickly on deck side, whilst Timbo's in engine core. Um, and we see Stitch now out on Timbo's side. Um,
It's not a bad
interestingly,
option here.
Mhm. Interestingly, still just only getting strength ups
Hmm.
of our setups. Just the magic stat just doesn't want to improve. It appears probably not too happy to see that. No?
Probably would have elected to use Final Form here over Stitch just for the stat increase for this fight.
Mhm.
Just one assassin left. Actually,
Notably, did not. Mm-hmm.
worked out that he didn't try to reflect because if you
You
reflect,
reflect and Stitch blocks it. It gets into an invulnerability state, which is very
Mhm.
unfortunate. I was Timbo. I would get away from the front of the engine core. Um, Very dangerous area to be in.
Now would be the time to go into Final Form.
Yeah.
Get that mana refill and hopefully be able to shred. Raga putting in work. And down the
Mm.
X1 goes. Nix is now making the last push for his final two objectives. Noogie and Experiment.
Fortunately, Timbo doesn't have one small, and did take a death on AX2. However, this lead is a little insurmountable.
Yeah.
As long as Timbo does get through it within reasonable time.
Ooh.
But that is a second death, unfortunately, on AX2.
Yeah, his swipes
Highly
are
advised.
pain.
Yes. Highly advised just to play it very safe. Making sure you utilize reflex
Mm-hmm.
more so than just the minor iframes from
Explosion.
explosion. Go.
Yep.
in the meantime, through this phase of Oogie, I was going to say, surprisingly, Donald hasn't died, but Donald finally died.
Yep.
Yeah. I always find Donald doesn't really like to survive very often.
True. Yeah, on crit, he is made out of wet tissue paper.
Yeah. Because Timbo did not go for the fast building.
Gets the building that you would get for fast building, but not fast.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, on Deck's side, we are now finally in Halloween Town 2.
And also gets that flare as Timbo did.
It is notable, yes, that Deck has like about 10 seconds of loadless advantage, but 10 seconds is nothing compared to the whole visit of Halloween Town.
Right. Right, and Timbo is on to Zebra Man.
Mm-hmm. But that being said, obviously, it's just one visit separation, which isn't a very large gap. So we should point out that the two were relatively evenly matched here. Despite what it might look like, as we're getting the finishing touches on X, on Zebra Man.
It's caught by an orb. Unfortunately, with the magic stat where it is right now, you're not going to be able to push Xemnas into laser phase immediately off of dance.
Unless you go into limit.
Right.
Yeah, if you go push limit form and go straight into an Oz, I think you have the possibility of going straight into lasers. It's probably worth a consideration here, especially with the strength stat being there. Fortunately, Timbo is just, getting some vines to the face, which without that once more, it's very survivable. Crit. Before anyone asks, did I try to jinx Timbo? No comment. All the deaths. The one way to keep this super interesting for the viewers.
Access. Ooh.
Oof.
Is through experiment. There we go.
Yeah, so the one thing I can mention here is that Deck is now on his way through the final fights. So the clock is now ticking for Timbo.
So of note is that Dex is 5 levels behind Timbo, but his stat line is almost identical.
Mm-hmm. Which might be contributed to some of the inventory stock being utilized and the Keyblade choices.
It looks like Timbo's gonna try to play it safe this time and go into session right after the dance is done, if necessary. Ooh, survived the vines that time.
Hmm? Does get an explosion off. Throws a Mega Elixir in response to getting clipped by vines once again. Just trying everything to get the lasers. Finally does.
Timing on the reflex is a little bit off. Oh, runs out of it. Okay.
Ooh.
Gets into dome. That's fine. I think you definitely take it at this point.
I think you definitely take it at this point.
Yeah, that would have been a dome skip if Timbo didn't run out of MP with that last reflect.
Yes. So we have about, what, 80 seconds to try to catch Timbo if you're deck?
Yeah, unfortunately, with the phases of AX2, there isn't much you can do.
That's assuming we get a clean final fight.
Magnega is very nice for this fight as well, because you can, if you get it right in the center of the room, you can pull the assassins before they go into the ground.
Yeah. Combine that with the Thunders. Albeit, I did notice that deck didn't put on the Structure Plus. Should still do decent amount of work.
It's actually benefiting him that he doesn't have Explosion because of the higher strength stat.
True. And that is GG's for Timbo.
Index is through AX1. And his load this time officially passes Timbo's.
Yeah. But we might as well let deck finish out, especially being so close to the finish line. And not forget that we are putting this on to showcase all of our beginners and their incredible journey from where we started in Event 1 to where they are now, to prepare them for a potential crit tourneys. But as a reminder, we are doing it as with an additional reason this year for the American Heart Association. So if you are able to donate, whether or not this race or a different race, please remember that you can donate through our link in the pinned comment via the Tiltify.
And if you don't know what a pinned comment is, you can also just do !donate. Flying back, get that last bit of damage to go to Final Zemnis. Very good job after getting knocked back, getting close enough to avoid the lasers.
Yes, Docs.
Yes, it was valid too. And Timbo auto-valored for it.
Yes. Which saved him a lot of time that might have been the difference. Unfortunately for Deck, ran out of MP due to not being able to throw the ether before going into the Zebraman.
Mm-hmm.
But is able to. Oh, never mind. I jinxed it early.
Yep.
Did reflect the first round of vines, but didn't get the second, unfortunately.
We'll have full MP for the dance this time. It's the cutscene. Sylvines again. Barely survived it. Orbs.
That is a second chance attack in that case. Should go straight into lasers here.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you are going into lasers at this point, you can jump over the first ring of lasers and land in time to get the timing correct for the first set for the reflex.
Oh, got greedy there and went for a swing instead of just going into reflect for the session. Has to redo the dance once again.
Yeah, when you don't have once more, the lasers are going to take you out.
Mm-hmm. GG's once again, Timbo. Thank you for the raid. So we're just wrapping up here. Unfortunately,
Did get hit twice by the orb there.
it hit twice, yeah. They're likely just taking a quick deep breath before trying one more time.
Yep. Sometimes it's all you need. Just focus up a little bit.
And back into lasers once again.
Late on these reflex. Yeah, the problem with using multiple reflex is it does make you safer. However, you won't be able to get the damage out in time. Does manage to get into a session there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you aren't able to get the damage out in time to stagger him.
Yep. Especially if you don't space them out. Unfortunately, gets the clone instead of the real one. Actually.
Let's get him those out of items, unfortunately. So
Likely we'll have to take the dome.
Yep.
and is going to take the turn. And we are coming up to GG's for Dexes. Fortunately, this is going to be the end of their road in the beginner bootcamp 2. This is our final bracket, but definitely well played throughout the whole tournament. And would appreciate to see some GGs in the chat for them to finish off.
There it is. GG's, Dexes. Very good showing in the tournament. Unfortunately, it was not enough today. And Timbo will move on to face Dot Dot in the top 8 of our final bracket, which our top 8 is fully put together now. We're getting down to it.
Yeah, we're definitely getting down to the nitty gritty. We have some matchups later today to look forward to. I believe we have one relatively soon. No, not soon. Like when I say relatively soon, like quite a few hours.
5.5 hours is our next one, if I remember correctly.
And hopefully you can all tune in. Unfortunately, I will not be.
Yeah, neither. I'll be at work, unfortunately.
Yeah. But thanks again for tuning in, watching, especially at the more EU-friendly hour this one is. And till next time, this is Mofo signing off.
And Bob, we'll see you later.